Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be taking you through the process of winterizing your in-ground pool. This is just based on what I do for my pool, all right? Doesn't necessarily have to be what you do for your pool. I am going to modify things a bit this year. Right now, we have our timer shut off. That's dormant, so that will no longer control the salt machine. That is also off. I have the disconnect pulled on the panel here for the pump and the salt machine. That is off. The pool heater disconnect uh, is also shut off. The pool heater is down. Electrically, everything is dead over here right now. There's no power to anything. So what I did is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do things a little bit different this year than I have in the past. And one of the things is I've made this accessory cover that you've seen, okay? So we're going to be blowing air through this. So we're going to take this out of here for now. And we're going to put the new cover on. So this is coming off for now, okay? And we're going to just take this out because we don't need this at the moment. And we are going to put the new cover on, okay? I'm really looking forward to giving this a spin. I'm just going to tap that lightly into place. And now that's an open airway to blow air into there, out the lines. So what we're going to start with is we're going to take a look at our multi-port valve over here. So excuse me while I move you just for a second. Now on our multi-port valve right here, as you can see, there's several positions on here. One of the positions on here is going to say closed. Right now we want to lock air out from going into the filter. So we're going to move this to the closed position, all right? And that's it. So now that valve is closed. It should not let any air go through, all right? Now my next step now is I'm going to get set up for, I'm going to get my blower in place, and we're going to see if we can get the air hose hooked up, and we'll be ready to start blowing this out. Stand by. Now to get this started, we're simply going to hook up the pool vacuum line. It's pretty simple. We're going to hook one end of the vacuum line up to the blower, like so. Oh my God, that just split open on me. I may need a new vacuum line. Oh my God. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That was old for sure. This may be a total failure at this point. And that's okay. Things happen. Right? Things happen. As they say in the movie business, it is what it is. That cracked way open on me. Split right open like nothing. All right, now, in this case, this is going to go on the outside of the cover. This is going to connect to the cover like that. And on these valves here, I've got 3 sets of valves. I've got bottom drain, end skimmer, and side skimmer. I'm going to start blowing out the bottom drain. So I'm shutting off side skimmer and end skimmer. The only place air can go right now is out the bottom drain. However, with that cracked open, I'm not so sure it's going to be effective, but I am going to reposition the camera at this point and bring you over to see what happens on the bottom drain. Now you're looking at my bottom drain. There's 2 of them. If this is a success, water is going to come out of there and all air is going to come out. And when I see the air coming out, I'm going to shut that valve off, and what will happen is it will be airlocked. So there'll be no air in that line for the bottom drain. Once you hear that air pump start up, you should see some action over here. Now I'm sure you saw some action there, but for now I'm going to have to go find a hose clamp and clamp that hose on there, because that just blew right off of there on me because of the back pressure. So stay with me. We'll do this again. Be back with you in a little while. Now, in further preparation, we're going to have to come over here and remove this socket. This is where the eyeball was, the return jet into the pool. So what has to happen is, even though that I took the eyeball out, there's a seat in here that has to come out that needs to be plugged. So I have this special metal eyeball socket removal tool that goes in here like this, and then you just twist it out. And now I can put a plug in there, and that'll be all sealed up for the winter, and then antifreeze will go in behind that. I'm going to have to do the other one down there, so let me get you into position to watch that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out off the eyeball. There's the eyeball. And then we're going to take out the seat with our seat removal tool, like we did the other one. Okay? And that's still going to be blown out. There's just some residual in there, but that still has to be blown out. And there we go. Okay, we're back at it. What I ended up doing was actually repairing the crack with about 3 layers of electrical tape and 2 layers of what they call gaffer's tape. Okay, I was able to blow the bottom drain out and airlock it. And the next thing I'm going to do is the end skimmer. So I'm going to take you over to the end skimmer and get you set up so you can watch. And like I said before, you will hear the air come on, and you see a whole lot of action over here at this skimmer. Let me just get you set up here real quick. Now, this is the first time I've used a blower. I've wanted one for like the last 7 years. But of course, I had to wait till I was retired to get one, right? Okay, so there we are. There is the end skimmer. You're going to hear the blower. You should see some action over here. That is serious. I'm going to let that run. I'm going to set you up to watch the side skimmer next. By the look of the water over here, that must have really been something. So that covers the three main sections of the pool: the bottom drain, the end skimmer, and the side skimmer. The next thing we're going to have to blow out are the return lines coming into the pool. And I'm going to do that now, and I hope it's going to work. I have to manipulate some things on the other side over there, but give me a minute to get it set up. Now I hope this is going to work. Now, lots happening here right now. I'm pushing air right through the filter in recirculate mode, and that's cleaning out a lot of the lines I have. So I'll let that blower run for a little while, clean these out. And then I'm going to move on to the in-floor pool cleaner and blow each one of these out individually. That means the cycle that's on the floor. I've got 4 zones on the floor that I'm going to blow out, and I'm also going to blow these 2 out again. But for right now, I'm pushing air through the whole system, through the heater, the salt system, everywhere, right to the return line. And you can still see every once in a while I'm still getting some stuff coming out here and there. So I'm going to leave this running. Put you down in the shade, and we'll get set up for the next step. What you're looking at here is called an in-floor pool cleaner. I'm going to dismantle it for the winter. That'll show you how I'm going to dismantle it. And then we're going to move the blower over here and blow out each port on this individually. Now when they come to refinish the pool, they're going to deactivate some of the zones in here. There's 6 zones in here. Okay? They're going to deactivate 4 zones that control the floor valves, because I don't want to use those anymore. We're doing away with them. We're taking them out. Okay? Those are going to be gone. And that's what you see in there, is a bunch of valves. That's all it is, a bunch of valves. Now, I only put these in here, and you'll see why in a minute, is to hold a few things in place. All right? I have to lift this valve assembly out of here. And you'll see what's going on. Okay? I'll bring you in. There are 4 glass balls in there sealing off the floor, and 2 open jets in there for the returns. Those we're going to leave open. The other 4 are going to be sealed off with caps. And the water's going to come through, go down and out the jets. It's going to be the easiest way to bypass the way things work here. We're just leaving a cover on it with no more gear assembly. So I'm going to set up the blower, and I want to blow out each one of these individually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the blower over each one of those holes. I'm going to put you on the other side of the pool so you can see what's going to happen. I'm going to blow out the the eyeball jet lines first, those 2 lines, and then we'll attempt to blow the floor out. Those are going to get sealed off, so that's not going to be a big deal, but I do want to get whatever water is in there out of there before the guys show up to refinish the fall work in the pool. We're going to be looking at that line right here and this one right here. So you hear the blower start up. You may or may not see anything come out of it. This is just a fail-safe for me to make sure that it's clear. Now I'm going to assume you saw some stuff come out of those 2 lines that I pointed to. Now those are going to be empty. Those are all full of air. The next thing we're going to work on, if you can see it, these holes. We're just going to blow the water out of those holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8 down there, okay? So I'm going to position the camera and hopefully you can get a good view of everything. Here we go. Now I've never done this with the blower before, so I think it's kind of cool. And I'll tell you, it's a lot easier than using a compressor. A lot easier. I'll set this up here, give you a good view of the pool. That's about what you want to see. Now you'll see all 8 of them in there. We're going to do them one at a time. Something tells me you probably saw some good action. So I'm going to just button this back up a little bit. I'm just going to put the cover and the band on it. That way the guys can... Actually, I'm going to leave it uncovered for now. I'm going to leave it uncovered. That way it can dry up, the sun can dry it out. But thumbs up to you guys for watching as usual. It's been a fantastic pool year here. I can't tell you how great it's been. Kind of sad to see it go, but thanks to the blower we were able to get things straightened out and wrapped up. Thanks so much for watching. God bless, and we'll see you next year. And we reverse this, and we have a brand new pool to look at. Take care.